calm and quiet people often move through the world unnoticed. Yet psychology shows that this silence is not emptiness, but compressed strength. Because when a person does not constantly speak, react, or perform, the mind conserves energy for observation, regulation, and long-term thinking. And human behavior research consistently finds that those who regulate emotions rather than display them are perceived as more competent, trustworthy, and powerful over time, even if they are initially underestimated. And this misunderstanding begins early when society rewards loudness, speed, and visible confidence while ignoring restraint, patience, and depth. But restraint is not fear. It is choice, and choice is control. And control is one of the strongest psychological signals of authority, because the individual who can delay reaction can choose response, and the one who chooses response shapes outcomes rather than being shaped by them. And neuroscience explains this through the balance between the limbic system, which drives impulsive emotion, and the prefrontal cortex, which governs logic, planning, and self-control. And calm people consistently operate with stronger prefrontal engagement, meaning they are less hijacked by anger, anxiety, or excitement. And this alone gives them an advantage in conflict, negotiation, leadership, and decision. Because emotional reactivity makes intentions visible, while emotional control keeps intentions protected. And protection creates psychological leverage. And another hidden reason calm people grow stronger over time is their relationship with validation, because they do not rely on constant feedback to feel real or worthy. And psychology shows that people who depend on validation become vulnerable to manipulation, approval seeking, and identity instability, while those who validate themselves internally become emotionally independent. And emotional independence is intimidating, because it cannot be easily influenced, pressured, or bought. And this is why calm individuals often unsettle others without trying, as their presence removes the usual emotional cues people use to feel safe, such as agreement, excitement, or visible insecurity. And when those cues disappear, the mind fills the gap with assumptions, often projecting power, judgment, or superiority onto the calm person. And projection creates fear because it reflects the observer's own uncertainty, not the calm person's intent. And psychology confirms that humans fear what they cannot read more than what they openly oppose, which is why calm silence can feel more threatening than loud aggression. And this effect intensifies because calm people tend to listen deeply rather than speak frequently. And deep listening is not passive. It is active data collection. As the brain gathers tone shifts, facial inconsistencies, and emotional patterns, building an internal map of social dynamics that others miss while talking. And this observational advantage allows calm individuals to anticipate outcomes, avoid unnecessary conflict, and act strategically rather than impulsively. And strategy compounds over time while impulse burns out quickly. And this is why calm strength often looks slow at first, but becomes unshakable later. And another overlooked factor is how calm people process emotions internally rather than externally, meaning they feel deeply but choose carefully how and when to express. And emotional restraint is not emotional absence. It is emotional mastery, because mastery requires awareness, tolerance, and regulation. And people who can sit with discomfort without immediately reacting develop resilience that survives pressure, criticism, and uncertainty. And resilience built quietly is often more durable than resilience built through praise, because it does not collapse when attention disappears. And this inner durability allows calm individuals to remain stable during chaos, forcing reactive people to carry the emotional weight alone, which often escalates their stress, while the calm person remains centered. And psychology shows that in any interaction, the person who remains regulated while others escalate gains psychological ground, not through dominance, but through stability. And stability signals safety, competence, and authority at a subconscious level. And this is why calm people often rise into leadership roles later rather than earlier, as their influence grows through consistency rather than spectacle. And consistency builds trust, and trust is the foundation of real influence, because people follow those who feel predictable in character, not those who are loud in expression. And calm people also develop a strong tolerance for solitude, which is another misunderstood strength, because solitude, when chosen, increases self-awareness, reflection, and long-term planning, allowing individuals to process experiences deeply rather than distract themselves from discomfort. And psychology shows that reflective individuals learn faster from mistakes because they convert experience into insight, and insight into adjustment, and adjustment into growth. And this reflective loop quietly accelerates personal development, even when progress is invisible to others. And another reason calm people eventually surpass louder personalities is energy management, because they do not waste emotional energy on unnecessary conflict, comparison, or performance, preserving focus for meaningful goals, relationships, and mastery. And deep focus is directly linked to skill, acquisition, creativity, and expertise, which is why many high-level thinkers, creators, and professionals are quietly consistent rather than visibly loud. And competence eventually commands respect even if it takes time, and delayed recognition is often mistaken for weakness, when it is actually strength that does not require immediate applause. And psychology also explains that calm people tend to have stronger boundaries, even if they do not announce them verbally, because boundaries are enforced through behavior, not volume. And consistent behavior teaches others how to treat you more effectively than arguments ever could. And this quiet boundary enforcement protects mental health, prevents burnout, and preserves self. And people who respect themselves internally do not need to demand respect externally. And this self-respect subtly alters social dynamics, as others sense limits without being challenged. And over time this creates distance from manipulation and closeness with trust. And the final psychological truth is that calm strength is designed for endurance rather than display. It compounds rather than explodes. And while loud energy may attract attention quickly, it often fades just as fast. But calm power grows through repetition, reliability, and inner alignment, becoming more stable, more influential, and harder to ignore with time. And if you are a calm or quiet person living in a noisy world, understanding the psychology is not meant to change you but to anchor you, to remind you that your silence is not absence, your calm is not weakness, and your depth is not invisible. It is simply powerful in a way that does not rush to prove itself, but once recognized, it cannot be shaken.